during that phase. Your heart rate goes up, you're breathing a little heavier, there's the sex flush, you can see redness in areas like, in the vulva, in the breast, in the nipples. And then you go to and that can last a variety of different times. You'll also start seeing some lubrication vaginally, right? And then the plateau response is when, that is kind of at its peak and it kind of stays steady. And then you reach orgasm. And so orgasm essentially is a response of the body where you will have, again, increased sympathetic response, and you will have pelvic floor muscle contractions, which are rhythmic. About 0.8 seconds or so, you're having a rhythmic pelvic floor contraction along with the sensation of orgasm. And then you'll have your recovery period, which you talked about briefly earlier, which can have, sort of a refractory time period at which point you can no longer, orgasm again if you'd like to, or for men to obtain another erection again for a short period of time. And that can be kind of an absolute refractory period, so where it's definitely not happening, and then a relative refractory period where you need something more novel and exciting to then again resume that cycle again.
The Coolidge effect.
Yeah.
I've talked about the Coolidge effect before on this podcast. I'll just cue people to a timestamp link in the show note caption so we don't go down the path. But one thing that's really important to understand is that the Coolidge effect is present in both males and females, meaning if a male ejaculates and is of the feeling that they can't have another erection for some period of time, the presentation of a novel, I guess we should say partner, because we could be talking about homosexual relationship here, not just heterosexual, but a novel sexual partner, female or male, depending on their proclivities, can override the refractory period. And they can have another erection and ejaculation. Similarly, a female will have a post-orgasmic refractory period if they're given an adequate stimulus, right? Something arousing enough, they can experience arousal and orgasm again. And we know, based on really good pharmacology, that this is a dopamine-driven thing. The prolactin is essentially establishing the refractory period, and the dopamine is essentially overriding the refractory period. Fascinating neurochemistry there, and speaks to the incredible extent to which the brain is controlling the genitals.
Yeah, we always say in sexual medicine that the brain is the most powerful organ for sex. Not your genitals, but the brain, because it is so powerful. And I'm not sure if we're going to touch on this later, but I'll bring it up now. There are some centrally acting medications now available they're FDA approved for premenopausal women with low libido.